Hello, this video is going to be going over some of the new features that Kahoot has that will help you create an engaging activity for your students. I'm signed in as a teacher right now. So the first thing we're going to look at is the Discover tab. I'm not sure if you've played around with this lately, but I'm going to go into Discover. And then you can see that there are now these really cool partnerships. So if I scroll down, it'll let me. Here are the partner collections. There's Disney, Marvel, National Geographic, all of these. So I'm going to click on Marvel. And then I can scroll down and see that there are all of these Kahoots. And it tells you how many Kahoots go with each of the Marvels. If I go back, let's see. Okay, so that's Kahoot Science. There's National Geographic, Britannica, Time for Kids. So let's click on Time for Kids. So here is Time for Kids Top Kahoots. So here are some of theirs. And you can filter it by grade level. And you can easily click on a Kahoot and then play it. Or you can add it to your collection. Something like that. Okay, so that's the Discover tab, which is really amazing because it has all these really neat partnerships in it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to Home. And I'm going to go as if I'm going to create a brand new Kahoot from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to click on Create. Now, if you see this little crown, it means that that is from the Pro version. And I do not have the Pro version. I just have this. So these are templates. But I'm just going to go up here to New Kahoot and I'm going to click Create. Now, right here, if I wanted to write my own question, I would click right here and I could see that I have this little editor, but I also can put in a math equation if I would like to. So if I click on the math equation editor, here is my math equation and all these really cool symbols. Okay. You can also upload images to go along with the question. Right here in the question, you have your neat little editor box as well. So you can put the equations here, make the text bold or italicized. Also, you have the option now to add an image as an answer alternative. So instead of having text here, you can have an image here. And you can go to Image Library or upload the image. So that is the way to create a question from scratch. Let's say, however, that you really don't want to have to create your answers from your questions from scratch. If you click this question bank right here, okay, and I'm going to type in United States Revolution. Now I can see that there are 81 questions that deal with the United States Revolution. And I can see the question and I can see the answers. So I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to just look at some of the questions and add the answers. Now it's pulling these questions from all the Kahoots that are available. But you can go through, and if you wanted to, you can filter by question type, or I can become very specific here, and I can even change it to Texas history or the Texas Revolution. And now there are more questions that you can read and choose and put in. Okay. Once you choose the questions you want, you can just click close. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that first question. Okay, so this is just going to be an example Kahoot. No description. I'm going to save it to my Kahoots. It's going to be visible only to me. And then I'm going to click done. Then I'm going to click done over here as well. When I click done, I'm going to have the option to play the Kahoot to test it out if I wanted to. If I don't want to, I'm just going to click done. And now here are my Kahoots. Okay, I'm going to click on the example Kahoot, and I'm going to open up this page right here. Okay, so here is the page where you can see the Kahoot. Right here, if you click this button, it shares it. So you can click right here where it says Share Kahoot. If I had my Google Classroom linked with my Kahoot, it would be right here where I could share it. Since I don't have it shared, I'm going to click the play button. And I'm going to choose Assign for self-paced learning. Now this is a challenge, so I can choose the date and time it's going to be completed. So this is their due date. I have a question timer, randomized answer order, and nickname generator. So you can decide if you want to leave these on or off. Now I'm going to click Create. Once I click Create, you can now see here's the Google Classroom button, so I can share it to Google Classroom, or I can share the straight URL. And then it will show you all of this when everyone is finished. Okay, and then you have report options as well once they're done. If you have any questions about this piece of Kahoot, please let me know. Now, moving to the student side. I do not have a student login, but I did kind of want to show you something called Studying with Kahoot. Right here is an article that says, how do I get players started with studying? This is only available in the Kahoot app. So if they have the app on their Chromebook, like the Android app, or on their phone, this is what they can do. There's different study modes. So once they find a Kahoot, they want to study. So for example, if you want them to study all about the American Revolution, but you don't want to give them a challenge, or if you're going to be learning something soon and you kind of want them to pre-assess their knowledge of it, you can tell them to go into Kahoot and search for something. And here, once they click on Study at the Kahoot, they can choose flashcards, practice, test yourself, or study with friends with this challenge. So they can invite their friends that are also on Kahoot to challenge the Kahoot with them. Okay? So that is just something that's really cool for students. For example, when you get into high school, if you're doing SAT prep, there's Kahoots in there with SAT vocabulary that students can click study on and do flashcards. That's kind of the new items that Kahoot has. If you have any questions or want any help, please let me know.